Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is Razer Nommo Pro. This is a 2.1 speaker system from Razer, which is THX certified and is capable of Dolby virtual surround sound. It has 35 to 20,000 Hz frequency response range, a massive downward firing subwoofer, and some RGB lighting in the bass, which makes them interesting. They also are fairly interesting speakers and very, very powerful, very beefy. They're also very expensive. These are £500 for a 2.1 system, which obviously doesn't offer proper surround sound. But I must say they are high quality and they are excellent, and I'm going to miss them when I have to send them back. They are also beastly. They're huge and kind of beautiful. Depending on your opinion, of course, and your personal preference and taste. I'm a big fan of them, though. And they do ooze quality as well. The RGB lighting is quite subtle, not over the top, as you'll see a bit later on. And it does work with Chroma, so if you're a big Razer fan and you're invested in the Razer system, you'll be pleased to hear that it works with Chroma. So it supports all the goodness in spectrum cycling and syncing with other devices from Razer within the Razer Synapse software, and you can customize it all within the studio as well, so that's pretty cool. Other highlights are multiple connections, so this is USB, optical, Bluetooth, and 3.5mm inputs, so basically you can connect it to a variety of different things with ease. You plug it into the back of the subwoofer, as you'll see in a bit, but also connect to the control box which sits on your desk, so you can plug your headphones and auxiliary devices in there with ease. And the Bluetooth connection is remarkably simple, and I'll show that later on as well, because you can basically connect any Bluetooth device with ease, but something like connecting your phone is really simple, dead simple in fact. But you could obviously run a laptop or whatever else you wanted to through those too. For testing purposes, I had these connected to my PC via USB. Dead easy to set up. Nice long cables, braided cable, which I'm a big fan of, so there's a high quality feel there. The subwoofer does take up a lot of space. That is one thing I'd say, is make sure you've got a good desk space, because you'll see in a minute how big they are and how they sit on the desk, and plenty of room underneath for the subwoofer as well. This is the control dongle, which allows you to power on, adjust the volume, and switch between the various inputs. You can also see, you'll see in a bit more depth later, but you can see inputs for the headphone and auxiliary on the side there. Simple 3.5mm jacks. So if you wanted to switch to headphones at night, when you don't want to abuse your neighbours, then that's quite easy. And that is worth noting, actually, is these speakers are ridiculously powerful. If you look on Amazon, you'll see other people commenting on how loud the bass is, and they are incredibly bassy. It's going to be very hard to demonstrate in the video. I have tried to show some audio, but obviously it's only through a microphone, so it's not going to be a perfect representation. But the sound on them is intense, to the point that it's actually too loud, and I think I'd have to recommend that you have a nice sturdy desk. If you've got any wobble on your desk, you'll probably find that causes problems because of the depth and range of the audio from these speakers. Just to give you an idea of size, that's a 34-inch ultra-wide monitor in the background, so you can see how massive the subwoofer is. And the speakers themselves are also pretty hefty. They're very weighty as well. For the money, you're certainly getting the feel of quality here with these speakers. There's no doubt that they are not cheap, which is always something you want, I think. If you're going to spend a lot of money, I like things to be heavy, well-designed, and just to ooze quality, and these speakers definitely do that. And it's good to see Razer products delivering that high quality that you'd expect. Also, the design is very understated. It's quite in your face, but it's also understated, which is a double-ended sword. What I mean by that is simply that the lighting underneath is very subtle. So it has RGB lighting, but it's not really in your face. It's quite hard to put across in the video, but the brightness isn't too bright, and it's not obnoxious. And obviously you can adjust it anyway within the software, or turn it off completely if you don't want the lights on. But the speakers themselves are this really deep black that you can see that seems to just absorb the light. I've got quite a lot of lights on for recording this video, and it still seems that they just suck all the light into them. So if you've got a dark room, you might not even be able to see them. It is quite mad. The subwoofer is equally impressive and ginormous. Obviously that does a lot of the powering, and you can see all the different inputs on there in a minute, but the setup is really simple and straightforward. It's a plug and play affair. Had no problems getting it to work or switching between the sources, which is a double bonus, so it's really easy to switch. Also found, as I said, it gets very loud, so personally I was using it during the day and then at night switching over to headphones, and that's really easy to do, especially if you've got a USB headset, because you can just plug it into your PC and then switch between your preferred devices in Windows quite easily. The connection's on the back there, as I said, so you can connect it up to a variety of things, and I'll show you those a bit closer in a second. Now the Razer Nommo Pro speakers, that's the highest end. You can actually get different versions of these Nommo speakers. The slightly more affordable setup. I'll leave some links in the description to show you the other ones that are available. But these are the ones that I had in for testing. It's obviously the premium product, and you are paying a mighty price tag for them. On the back you can see the connections to left to right speakers, so that's easy to set up. Then you have the control pod, which is the little control box that sits on your desk, optical input and PC input there, and as I said you've got the 3.5mm jack on the control box as well, so you have a variety of good inputs and easy access to them. And then a close-up of the speakers themselves. You can see this really fantastic Kevlar mesh, and they look superb. They are dust magnets though. I've had them on my desk for a couple of weeks and they're covered in dust already, so they'll need regular cleaning, but they're incredibly stylish. You can see the control pod I put next to the mouse just to give you an idea of size. It's not too big, and the cable on it is long enough as well that it sits nicely within reach without having cables all over the place. And again, you can see the size of the speakers, 34-inch ultra-wide monitor. They sit on either side, but they do take up quite a lot of room. That's a good thing, I think. They've got a good style to them, stands out nicely. Nice addition to the desk, but you do need a big desk if you've got a big monitor as well, because they do take up quite a bit of room. So within the Synapse software, as I said, you can switch between the various offerings of sound audio enhancement. So you have THX and Dolby audio, with the various custom equalizers, game, movie, music, and custom, so you can set up to your preference. You can also adjust the bass boost on it, so you can turn the bass down. As the bass is in your face, it's quite loud. And in here you can adjust the lighting effects. Quick effects are obviously easy access. You've got spectrum cycling, breathing, static, and wave. And you can easily change those, randomize the colors, or pick a specific color to your preference. And then within the Chroma Studio, you can set up a variety of more custom effects, and if you have multiple Razer devices, which I don't have at the moment, but if you do have them, you can then set them up so they all match and you have a nice Razer glow on your desk, which is a gamer's dream, obviously, because we all love RGB, don't we? Because it's Synapse compatible, so if you are lucky enough to have Philips Hue lighting, you can sync with that too and really get some lighting goodness going on. This one, Wave, is like a mad party on your desk. I wouldn't recommend that if you have epilepsy. But I do like the lighting in general. It's very subtle and understated, as I said, but it just gives that little bit of class with the bass of the speakers lighting up nicely, giving a nice glow on your desk as you game or listen to music. The speakers themselves are very capable. They're excellent for music especially, but also for gaming, obviously. You do get that THX certification and the Dolby virtual surround sound, which basically means you get a fairly decent audio experience. It's obviously not as good as a dedicated surround sound system, and possibly not as good surround sound wise as a virtual surround sound headset, or a high-end one anyway, but you know, they're bigger speakers, they give a much bigger sound than those headsets. So here, just demonstrating quickly how to easily switch to Bluetooth. So you can see here there's a button on the bottom of the control box that you press to put it into Bluetooth mode, and then you just find it from your device, and it basically connects really quickly. Initial setup was easy, and then after that it's even easier to just quickly switch to it and test out some music. So I'll demonstrate here what the sound's like, and you'll note that it's got 4 lights on the control box there, which shows it is on that level of volume, and it goes all the way around on a complete wheel, so it goes very loud. It's going to be hard to demonstrate, but here's a slight demonstration of what the audio is like, so I'll be quiet for a minute.
They might not sell weed in hell, and that's the price. For the cops, they only good if they dead. Don't let badge and the gun shit be going to their head. To make bread, I gotta steal for sports. So we stole a show and made some pennies for our thoughts. And if this fucking rap shit don't pay, I'ma start selling drugs around my way, killing my own people.
And that gives you an impression of how loud it goes. It was only on 4 or 5 bars of light, and it goes all the way around in a full circle all the way to the side. So I mean, I don't think you could even turn it up that far without destroying the walls of your house and scaring your neighbours. Is very loud system. I'm not able to find the wattage anywhere on any of the sites, but they are incredibly powerful and surprisingly capable, and it does deliver a really rich audio. You can see here it goes all the way around. So this has been the Provoked Prawn. I hope you enjoyed this video of the Razer Nommo Pro. Let me know if you have any questions, and please like, subscribe, and come back to see more in future. I'm hoping to do some more speakers in the near future, because this is something that I want to add to my system, and these were pretty fantastic, so it'd be good to get some other ones in. Thanks for watching.